I'm just remembering one story that one Vaishnava he told recently, that in the old days when Gurudeva was in Kesavji Gaudiya Mat, him and the other brahmacharis, they would go on bhiksha. And so every day Gurudev would go down to the Yamuna and he would take bath there. And there was one old lady, and she was very poor, and she lived on the banks of the Yamuna, and she had nothing, just some torn cloth. And she would beg every day, and whatever she would get through her begging, then she would cook on a little cow dung and brick fire just by the bank of the Yamuna. So one time Gurudev was down there and they were doing bhiksha, and she gave Gurudev some tiny amount, like 200 grams of broken, really low quality rice, some flour with worms in it, and some like old dal. And then she gave it to Gurudev, and Gurudev tied it up and took it back to the temple. And when Gurudev gave it to the mat commander said, "Gurudev, this is old, there's worms in the flour, how can I cook this?" And Gurudev said, "No, please, you cook it, and once you've cooked it and offer it, then you give it to me." So this mat commander, he was a little disturbed. How can I give this such low quality, rice and flour to Gurudev? But Gurudev insisted, "No, I want this. You give it to me." So then they cooked it, and then Gurudev took it. And then the next day they went down the Yamuna, and they heard that that lady, that morning, she left her body. She passed away. So she gave everything she had to Gurudev. She collected so hard for 1 month just to give that to Gurudev. And then when Gurudev accepted it, then she left her body. And who knows where her destination was, but I'm sure very Vaishnava is saying her destination was Goloka Vrindavan. So when I heard this story, it really struck me on how kind and compassionate and magnanimous Gurudev is, because he's in that line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu came to give praying to everybody, even the most fallen, wretched, despicable people. So when I hear these things, it gives me hope. So, because that is also my position. So Gurudev is helping us all. He was named Yuga Acharya because he's helping everybody in this world. Maybe even the whole universe he's helping in this age. In this Kali Yuga is the most fallen, degraded age. If you turn on the news, if you go on the internet, you'll see how many bad things are happening. The world is really falling apart out there. There's wars and so much disease and poverty. The governments are harassing everybody. People are in so much anxiety. But Gurudev, he has the ability to take you out of that situation. He has the ability to lift you out of Kali Yuga.
The only time that he would call on me to speak, I fortunately was not called on very much, was for Prabhupada's appearance or disappearance, or at that time it was also Vishwarup Mahotsava. And so, 2 or 3 times a year I'd be forced to speak. And he, I remember, I had no training and not much intelligence on how to do these things, so I would just kind of like stand up and try to remember things. And Maharaj didn't exactly appreciate that. And so he would, if he didn't like it, he would just say, sit down. I'd get up there and try to sit down. Or sometimes he would ask me questions. Did your Guru Maharaj do this? Did your Guru Maharaj ever take, it's like, go back to his family? And did your Guru Maharaj do this? And so he asked me so many questions about, like showing me these are the things that you should talk about. And then, and I try to answer as best. Finally, and what kind of bhakti did your Guru Maharaj teach? Krishna bhakti. Sit down. And then Vrindavan Vilas, says, Braj bhakti, Braj bhakti. I said, oh, Braj bhakti. And so one time, one year, Maharaj asked me, speak about the internal mood of your Guru Maharaj. And I thought, and I just looked at him and I thought, what can I say? I don't know the internal mood of my Guru Maharaj. No, I've never experienced it. So I said, Maharaj, I don't think I can speak. Sit down. And he had somebody else go speak. But that question is like, I couldn't believe he was asking me that. And I came home and I was telling my husband, I don't know what I could have said. And he was saying, wow, how come he's asking a question like this? So we were both like really perplexed. And so the next morning we went to Mathura really early. And we got there before 6 o'clock. Maharaj was on his walk. And when he came back from the walk, when he saw us, I think he knew exactly why we were there. And so he arranged to sit on the roof and he had us sit with him. And then I said, Maharaj, you asked me to speak about the internal mood of Srila Prabhupada. But I can't do that because I've never experienced his internal mood. So what can I say? And he said, that's true. He said, I also have never experienced the internal mood of Swami Maharaj. His internal mood is so high. He said, but that doesn't mean that you can't speak about it. He said, because we can speak about the internal mood of Lord Chaitanya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah. And I said, oh, okay. I understood. And that was Vishnu Mahotsava. And then, so the next time Maharaj asked me to speak was Prabhupada's disappearance day. And that was in Kartik. So I had time to think about this. And then I spoke, and for that, I explained what had happened and how Maharaj had asked me to speak about it. And then what he had said. And I said that, and so we understand that just like we say, Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadanti. Rupa Goswami, he understood the internal mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And because he understood Lord Chaitanya's inner mood, he was able to establish his mission in this world. And so in the same way that Srila Prabhupada, in the footsteps of Rupa Goswami, in the same mood as he could understand that internal mood. And we can understand that his internal mood is the same. And because he understood this internal mood, therefore he was able to establish the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the West. And when I said this, Maharaj, he liked it. So, and he had, it's like in that way he was teaching me how to glorify Srila Prabhupada. And it was, yeah, so he was such a wonderful teacher. Best.
That first time I'm going, Prabhuji near, with Prabhuji. Prabhuji going, every day going massage. This is my first experience with Gurudev. So many devotees giving massage. I'm also going there. Then I'm going with Prabhuji, like 4 or 5 devotees going. Prabhuji is going very quickly upstairs, then we are going. Then Prabhuji is sitting and Gurudev is sleeping nicely. Then how is relationship, this I'm never understanding. The Prabhuji is going very easily and take Gurudev's head and taking oil nicely and giving head massage nicely. Gurudev is so happy. He's looking, Gurudev's eyes is closed. Then Prabhuji taking his head like with the leg. Then Gurudev open eyes like so happy. He's giving big smile. Then Prabhuji also talking with some Bengali, I'm not understand that time. Then everybody giving massage nicely. Then I'm also giving massage in hand, giving massage nicely. Then one time Gurudev looking me. Then I'm so much what happened. Then I was telling no problem. Our devotee said no problem, do no problem. Then I'm doing again massage. Then Gurudev going taking bath. Then coming Gurudev sitting. Then asking, hey, where are you from coming here? I'm telling from Bangalore with Girdhar Prabhu, Srinidhi Prabhu. Yes, okay. Then Gurudev coming, going for Harikatha. Then I'm going Gurudev near with Gurudev backside. Then going Harikatha, nice kirtan, everything. Then finally, Prabhuji taking with me is telling, is coming Mathura, is staying with me. Okay, go with Prabhuji, is staying with Prabhuji. Going every day for parikrama and we taking darshan with Gurudev in Govardhan. That time Gurudev is a little bit sick. That year also not coming like from Janmashtami. All year coming Janmashtami, but that year coming but not going anywhere. Only staying mat and going this Govardhan. Prabhuji niyam rule, we going parikrama and one day taking like Kusum Sarovar water for Gurudev, for one day taking this Radhakund water. I am every day taking this 20-liter bottle, I pick up and taking Gurudev, going Gurudev near, giving this for Gurudev for taking bath. Then we are so much experience all time giving this water, going here and there, then all parikrama. Then going with Prabhuji, very simple taking darshan, very easily taking darshan. We going very quickly and take darshan, no problem. Then we going alone, no possible, take darshan. Then we going with Prabhuji every day taking darshan and we giving this water. Then so much happy. Then before some year before, like maybe 2008 sometime, we going like parikrama, no, not parikrama, this one house program in Calcutta. That time also very 5-6 devotees with Gurudev. Then I'm going there. That time I don't know any kirtan also. And I know, but I want to, my language book, Kannada language. I don't know English, Hindi also. Then Gurudev coming and sitting. Gurudev tell me, hey, sing kirtan. Yamana Durmati Sansara Vitare. I'm telling Gurudev, I don't know, I know have book language. Okay, that time one more devotee is telling, okay, I'm singing. He's singing. Then Gurudev telling again, hey, you sing Mahamantra. And I'm telling, I singing Mahamantra. Then giving Harikatha, Bengali Harikatha. There is Kolkata people, is Bengali Harikatha. After Bengali Harikatha, then Gurudev going, taking prasadam. Then we going, we helping Gurudev, giving massage. And that time also I collect little bit Charnamrita there. I keeping long time this Charnamrita, every day drinking.
So when I came to India and I stayed in India for about 2 years, and towards like after a year and a half or something, I can't remember exactly how that happened, but I remember how that happened. I started doing book distribution, and of course that was because Shamrani Didi, she said in a very strong way why that would be the best thing for me to do then. Then I started doing book distribution. I remember I used to go to Delhi, to Noida, like this, different places. And I started going to Calcutta on the train. So I'll go get a train, any train, from Delhi to Howrah, and distribute books to the whole train. So of course, by the time I got to Howrah, my books were finished. So it was a very good way of distributing books. And I used to do by myself. And then when I went to Calcutta, I used to go to one place in between Navadip and Calcutta where Srila Maharaja used to stay, Sarafuli. So that was very amazing. It was a very small place by the banks of the Ganga, in a place where Mahaprabhu was there. He had been there. And it was such a sweet and peaceful environment to be able just to have his darshan, Srila Maharaj's darshan. And yes, I started bringing some medicine for him. I can't remember how I got that service, but mostly I got that service, and I started to bring some medicine, and also just spend some time there, a few days there, and then go back to Vrindavan. So I remember that I really wanted to travel with Gurudev in Europe, and because he used to travel to a lot of little countries, and it was like a little European tour. And yeah, and it was very nice because he'd spend maybe a week in each place, so you could be with him for maybe a whole complete month, or maybe more. So I really wanted to go, but I had no money, and my dad, he didn't want to pay for my things anymore. He wanted me to study in India, and then I didn't want, so he thought, no, I'm not paying for you just to be there. So then I was like, oh, I really wanted to go, and really kind of suffering, trying to find a way to, how could I go and travel with Gurudev, and I remember that each time I used to go to Srila Maharaj, I used to ask him, in my mind, I used to give my pranams, touch his feet, and as I had my forehead on his feet, I used to ask him, because I thought, if nothing is happening, if nothing is working, it must be Gurudev's desire. It can't be just, isn't it? Maybe he doesn't want me to go. I was thinking in my mind. And then, so I thought, well, okay, maybe if I ask Srila Maharaj, he's his brother, isn't it? So if he asks him, then for sure he's going to let me go. That was my, very young and thinking like that. Logic. Yeah, my logic like that I was thinking. So every time I go to Srila Maharaj, I'll ask him, oh, please ask Gurudev to let me go and travel with him, listen to his Harikatha. And okay, every time I do like this. So at some point, my sister, she offered to pay for my ticket, to lend me the money, and she paid for my ticket. I came to England, and I could travel with Gurudev. And I remember when I arrived in England, the festival was in Birmingham, and my sister and I, we went to see Srila Gurudeva in his house. He was staying on the Suta's house. And when I arrived there, Gurudev was coming down the stairs, I imagine, to go for class. And then before that, he never really spoken to me at all. But I remember that day I arrived there, and he was coming down the stairs, and he goes, "Oh, you," and he pointed at me. "Oh, I heard so much about you." And then in my mind I was thinking, how is that possible? How did he hear about me? Because there's no way anyone would come and say anything about me. So I thought maybe someone said because I'm distributing books. And then I thought, well, did Srila Maharaja really say something? Because that was a very childish thing that I was doing, asking Srila Maharaja to ask him. But then I thought maybe, because otherwise how would he ever hear anything about me? It's not possible. And also I thought, because I started serving in some way, I had a desire, so I was doing book distribution, even though it was forced because I had no money. But it was a very blissful thing to do, to be able to, I didn't know Hindi or Bengali, but it was very, very nice, and many people got books and everything. So I remember I came to England, and at that festival I met Kamala Didi, and then she got instructed. Gurudev told her to do a preaching center in London. So I knew her from India, and then she said that to me, and I thought, okay, that seems like a good thing to be with at least someone else doing services. At the time I was doing it by myself. And then I thought, okay, but I need to ask Gurudev. So I went to Spain. Gurudev went to Spain after England. And then I arrived in Spain, and then I thought, okay, I'll ask Gurudev. Well, I went to Spain. It was a long trip, how I got there. And I was doing books, sending books, giving out books and incense. So I collected some money that was for me to continue traveling with Gurudev. So I had a little bit of money that I'd collected with me. And I remember Ashram Maharaj, he said, if you ask Gurudev, then just make sure that you ask in a way that you don't put your desire first, that you let him instruct you. So I was okay, that made me very aware, and it made me think about how I'd approach Gurudev, to not say what I wanted to do, although I didn't have a clear desire. But then I remember going into a darshan, to go, devotees, Sulat and Likishori were there, and they were there with Gurudev, and it was very, very sweet. We went into his room, and then he started asking me, like, oh, where do you live? In Vrindavan, Gurudev. And where? Oh, I have a room near, behind Radha Ballabh Mandir. Oh, okay. And how much do you pay? Oh, Gurudev, I pay 100 rupees. And so he was asking like that, questions like this. And then he said, okay, so if you need anything, you should come to me. So I imagine, because he was asking about how much it was my rent and, practical things like that, I thought he means to come for him if I need any financial help or anything like that, I imagine. And then I came to that darshan with all the money I had, and I was ready to give that to Gurudev. And I thought, well, he's not gonna. Obviously, he's not going to take my money. It's a little bit of change. Maybe it was 150 euros in a few notes and coins. So it definitely, he just offered me. So I was thinking like that in my head, in my mind. And then I asked him. I presented to him the idea of being in England doing service, and then he said, yes, you can do, but whenever I'm in India, you should be in India. And then I thought, okay. So since then, it's something that our group, we always try to do, that even if we have no money, even if we have to put on a credit card, we always try to come for all the parikramas, or we try to be here to take this association that this is what Gurudev was doing. He was going everywhere, injecting people with Harikatha and bringing them to the Dham, to inject them with the Harikatha in this place. They're so favorable for everyone, for everything. Anything that you do here is so, the Dham is lifting you, is carrying you like a baby. So then I remember he said that. Then that darshan was finished, and I thought, well, anyhow, I'm gonna offer my money, just because I came with that in my mind. And then I gave my money, and he just took it. He looked at it. It was mini coins and little notes, and then he just put it on his bed, or where he was sitting, and then I thought, he's not offering me financial help. He's offering me everything. So he's not come here. He's not offering me something to wear, something to somewhere to stay, something to eat. But he's whenever I need, and I should come to him. That if I need anything, isn't it? He's there giving everything, not just external things or things for the maintenance of this body, but he's giving everything that we need in all of our, not only here, but isn't it? They say the sadhu sangha is the beginning, middle, and end, but there is no end to this process. So he's there in all stages, giving everything, nourishing us with this, isn't it? How with this bhakti ras mainly, isn't it? So then slowly, I'm trying to understand these things, what he says.